What is going on, everybody? Man, welcome to the confused. I can't speak. I was trying to
Masked
be.
man here.
I was trying to be safe. I'm trying to be responsible.
Now look at us. We're just getting all close in here.
Yeah, I mean we share COVID anyway, so
Yeah, it's fine.
we're good to go.
It's all good.
Hey, welcome to the Confused Manly Men Fantasy Football League show. I am your beloved supreme dictator, your beloved supreme leader, Ben Fawcett.
And I am your first ever two-time league champion, Brandon Weir. It's so good to be here with you. I just want to send a special shout out right now to Jordan Riddell. Jordan, I want to thank you so much for all the inappropriate videos that you sent to us leading up to this. They really helped inspire us. And Ben he has a request. He said, please send him more pictures of you with your shirt off. So please do that. Send that to that email. He would love to see that.
I don't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah. Well, we're coming back together now, Ben, because it's almost fantasy football season. It's almost time to go.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about what is most important to you, which is your teams.
Dude, word. And your teams are straight do. But you love to hear about it anyways because it's your team, even though they're doo-doo.
The truth is not everybody's team is doo-doo. I mean, just everybody's team except for mine and probably Jerry. Jerry, we'll let you have that as well.
I was about to say, how dare you insult our newest two-time champion, Jerry Nash. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace.
We're sorry that you died from COVID.
Yeah.
We miss you.
123 years old.
Yeah.
He really put in the work. Now he's just a Russian bot. But we can still interact with him. That's not a problem at all.
It's going to be really hard to replace, someone of your stature and age. There's not many elderly people that play fantasy football, so it's going to be hard.
Hey, you know what's great about this is as we're doing this video talking about Jerry I'm pretty sure he'll never see this.
We can say anything we want.
We can say anything he wants, right? Like there's a good chunk of our like Bork is gonna watch, Jordan's gonna watch, Hans is gonna watch, Ryan's gonna watch. That's really all I can count on.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what we have planned right now is at least 10 episodes. We're not trying to make them too long, but we're gonna in-depth break down everyone's team. We're also gonna have just some different questions that we're going to answer. We'd love for you to send in some of your questions to us and just kind of break down the league and just get ready for this football season because we desperately need football, right?
Yeah, dude. Man, it's got to happen.
Need it.
And this is exciting times because we're going to get the show going, so what do you think?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who do you think was last year's biggest loser?
I'm glad you asked that because in today's world, which I really agree with this type of ideology, it's really subjective. The word loser is subjective as almost any word is. What do words mean in today's world?
No, it's not subjective. There's like a record that goes along with it. And guess who was the biggest loser last year?
I think it was that. I watched that show once. It was that one.
It's you. It's you. You were the biggest loser. The emperor, whatever you call yourself, you were the biggest loser. You went 3-11. That puts you in last place. And so that, you know what that means, kids at home? That means we're going to begin talking about Ben's team. So please don't shut off because it's going to be lots of fun making fun of Ben's team and talking about how bad it really was.
You know what?
It was bad.
First off, I think loser is a very strong word. So let's not use loser. Let's use first place non-champion. I think I like that more. It speaks to my heart a lot more.
Yeah,
first place non-champion.
Call yourself whatever you want, but let's get going, okay?
All right, let's do it. So before we dive in, well, no, we're going to dive in right now. But before we get to my team, and I just take the abuse that's coming to me. I'm ready.
Oh, it's coming.
I got feels, people. I got feels. All right, before we get to that, we've got our totally relevant topic of the week. Brandon, explain how relevant this totally topic is.
Well, first off, we need to give a shout out to one of our sponsors.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We have sponsors.
Dude,
can you believe it? We're just beginning this and we already have sponsors. So our sponsor this week for totally relevant topic of the week is the Owendowski Egg Farm. And so, Ryan Owendowski, thank you for sponsoring us. Go ahead and send in your check and be sure you do that. Guys, listen, these are the best eggs you have ever had. Only
So
puts a
good.
little bit of steroids in them, just a little bit.
So
Just-
good.
These are the biggest eggs ever. Does this come from an ostrich? Where does it come from? But Ryan, thank you for supporting us,
Oh.
and we're really sad about how you treat your chickens. You keep letting them die and putting them in tiny cages.
Let her-
But as long as you keep that dough coming, we will keep supporting you.
Yeah, man, and I've had those eggs. They're mutated perfectly. Whatever you're doing, Ryan. Good
He's
job, buddy.
feeding them just creamy creations. He's like,
Creamy creations.
just ice cream.
Oh, dude. Yeah. You know how some people, like, they get a turkey and they're going to, like, fry the turkey for Thanksgiving, right? And they inject it with ranch. So Ryan is just getting his chickens and he's just straight creamy creations.
Oh, it's going to be so great when he creates his own commune out in his house.
Oh my gosh, I
it's
love
gonna be
Ryan.
good. Thank you, Ryan.
Dude, Ryan, we almost built this platform just to make fun of you. I'm
Yep.
just
We sure did. All right, so what are we going to be talking about with our totally relevant topic?
First off, what you guys need to know about it is it's totally relevant and it's a topic for this week,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we justly named it totally relevant topic of the week. And we are talking rookies.
Rookies.
Yeah. And we got a game we're going to play with the rookies. We got a
Okay.
game we're going to play. So we all like Texas Hold'em, right? We like Texas Hold'em. And in Texas Hold'em, you can raise, you can hold, you can fold, right? Raise, hold, fold.
You got to know when to hold them.
You got to
You got to know when to fold them.
to fold them. Does he ever say raise?
No, he
No,
doesn't.
He's a
I don't think so.
horrible
I don't know.
player.
I need
He's
to
a
listen.
horrible player. So I'm going to give Brandon 3 rookie running backs. He's got to
Okay.
choose to raise on one
Okay,
Right, so
that's,
that's-
one that I think is going to go through the roof, right? One's
This
going to have
year.
a great
this season. Yep.
Okay,
This season. So that your raise is this season, you would go all
okay,
in on it.
all right.
And then you got the hold.
Okay, so we're keeper league. So this is a person that I'm thinking maybe this year they're not as great, but down the road, I believe there's somebody that's worth keeping, dynasty person, whatever it may be. Okay,
That's exactly it. And then you got the fold.
that's pretty easy.
That's pretty
somebody-
easy one, right? That's
They're probably going to be doo-doo. And I
Get
know
'em out.
this because we do extensive research into these things.
Oh, too much.
It's not
Too
about our
much.
feels.
Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I took away Taylor and took away Clyde Edward, right?
Oh, okay.
I wanna
I
do
thought you
Texas.
meant like the town of Taylor. I was like, bro,
No,
you need a place to
Taylor-
live.
Taylor just got voted #1 city in America. I mean, that's-
Okay.
that's what's
All right.
amazing.
All right. So
All
you
right,
got Taylor. You got
raise, hold,
But
fold. Here they are.
CEH
Here
is
they are.
out.
Your top 2 are out, right? But
Okay.
I'm going to give us 3 ones that I think genuinely our league would be interested in, right?
Yeah.
After those guys, they'd be
The running backs are interesting. I mean, there's talented running backs. I feel like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same with the wide receivers. There's really
yeah.
talented running backs out there, but the problem is that none of them really landed in a spot other than CEH, which is why you took him out, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, clear path to being the starter. But even
Yeah.
CEH, there's some questions about
Yeah.
is Damian Williams going to be in there, Andy Reid's system, those kinds of things. And so, yeah, this makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah. And so these 3 guys, here they are, right?
Okay.
We got Swift.
Swift.
He's good.
Okay.
Akers. And the-
Akers.
And the third one is this, Cam Akers.
Okay.
Cam Akers. And then Keyshawn Vaughn. Keyshawn Vaughn landed in Tampa Bay. So Keyshawn Vaughn is interesting because in all the pods that I'm listening to, his name constantly gets brought up,
Okay.
right? Because,
Yeah.
you know, it's fun to talk about Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's there. Keyshawn Vaughn is supposed to be this good pass catcher. So I don't know. I haven't really researched him so much. So I thought it'd be really fun to look at Swift, Akers, and Vaughn. Which one are you going to raise?
Okay. I am going to raise
They all have
Keyshawn
issues.
Vaughn.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. What do you like about him?
I like the price that you'll get him for.
Mm-hmm.
I think
cheap.
even in our league, I mean, some of those top level guys are going to go for a lot, and so you're not going to break the bank necessarily. You're going to have to pay because we always have to pay up for running
Yeah.
backs. But I like that, and I like the fact that obviously, the Bucks do not trust Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
They just don't trust him. They don't
Yeah.
trust him. They haven't given him. There's an opportunity that's there.
Yeah.
And so, I think for what he's going to cost you and where he's at and the
Yeah.
opportunity that's there, because there's no clear, like, this is the dude I want, maybe other than CEH.
Yeah.
So you're taking a chance anyways. Give me a little bit cheaper of a guy and give me an opportunity to go back in there and do something else. I'll take him.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
sense to me. And what about your hold?
So
this
Mahomes is going to be
again-
Swift.
Yeah, okay. Even though he's on the Lions?
Yeah.
I mean,
Even though he's on the Lions. Even though he is on the Lions. I think he's going to split carries this year.
Okay.
I don't think there's any. I think this year he's going to split carries. I think he's the future in Detroit. I think he's the more, he's the back that's going to be healthier, that's going to keep himself up. Eventually they're going to get rid of their coach.
Yeah.
After this year,
Yeah.
right? They're going to get rid of Patricia after this
Are
year.
they?
Probably not. They're the
Okay,
Lions,
okay.
right?
I was like, are they
No,
not?
but he legit either they're going to improve and that's going to give Swift more opportunities, or he's going to do mediocre and they're going to get rid of him if he's mediocre
Yeah, I
this
like
year.
Swift.
So there's a possibility and a hope. I guess obviously my fold is Akers, and the reason my fold is Akers is that line is just so bad. I mean, great offensive mind, great offensive scheme, but I mean, if Todd Gurley is having trouble producing behind that line last year, a rookie in Cam Akers.
Yeah.
And there's questions about durability. There's some of those types of things, and so I think I'm gonna fold on Akers.
Do you like Akers at all? Would you take Akers in any situation?
Yeah.
Like would you spend your actual knowing I don't know who your keepers are or your money, but knowing kind of that, would you put money in on Akers?
Yes. I mean, I think you're taking a shot with some of those lower guys, and so he's going to be obviously a little bit cheaper. The talent's there. I mean, he was the number 1 running back coming out of high school, and then he goes to Florida State. He plays behind a doo-doo line, and so luckily he knows what it's like to run behind a terrible line. I mean, their line was so awful, maybe one of the worst in the history of college football was the Florida State line. And so I think there is a little bit of that, but you just don't know. I mean, you're just counting on talent with him.
Yeah. Florida State does produce running backs too.
Yeah.
Like they're a good talent school. So yeah, I agree with you, man. I think I think Swift is really good. I don't know what to make of Keyshawn Vaughn. I hear all these different opinions of him. I haven't really got into looking at him in his tape or researching him, but it really doesn't matter because you guys suck at fantasy football. So whatever information you guys give you, they're just gonna not do anything with it.
They're like, who's Swift?
Yeah. No doubt. I bet you. I guarantee Ryan's just like confused by the name Swift
the
and all
running
those
backs and
types
stuff.
of dudes.
All right, so I got the wide receivers for you.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I hope I've heard of them. I hope you didn't do something obscure.
Yeah. How well do you know 7th round wide receivers?
I know UFAs.
No. They are. I took out CeeDee Lamb because we all know you hate CeeDee Lamb. You absolutely hate CeeDee Lamb.
I like CeeDee Lamb.
No. You don't think he's talented. You think he's terrible. So I took him out because I'm like, that's just going to be his fold anyway. It's like, oh, hey, Cowboys, don't take the number 1 wide receiver off the board.
Yeah.
All right, that's a different topic for a different time. We don't have time for that. But I took CeeDee Lamb out, and I took Ruggs out, leg injury, and just some kind of question marks that go along.
Yeah.
And so these are these are all first round wide receivers. Other than that, but I think there's some clear paths that are here, so you got to kind of juggle that.
Yeah, and they're rookie wide receivers, which is always interesting.
Yeah. Like
Always.
the raise is hard on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Jalen Rager,
Okay.
TCU,
Yep.
went to the Eagles.
Yep.
All that.
Maybe Alshon might not be. Alshon's kind of old and
Jerry Jeudy.
Okay, I like Jerry Jeudy.
Denver Broncos goes there, middle of the first round. Second wide receiver taken off the board. And then you got Justin Jefferson
Oh, okay.
for the Vikings.
Okay, yeah.
And I know how much you love Vikings wide receivers.
I do, man.
So
I get all of them.
Yeah.
The problem with Justin Jefferson is that he plays next to, arguably, this has been argued before, the greatest receiver of our generation, Adam Thielen.
It has, yeah.
I've gotten so many trade offers for him, straight cash. People are like 30, 40,
let's do
$50, all those type of things.
Did you see where he challenged Cheetah to a race?
Who
Tyreek
did?
Hill.
Tyreek Hill?
No. Tyreek Hill said, "Hey, I'll take on anybody who wants to race." And Adam Thielen said, "I got this," or something like that. He said he would be willing to race him, and then he had smiley faces obviously next to it because he's just kidding.
He beat him.
Yeah, he would.
Beat him.
He would.
Okay, let's get going.
All right,
here.
so Rager, Jeudy, Jefferson.
Yeah, I think my raise for going all in on this year would have to be Rager.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I really think
He's better than CeeDee Lamb. That's what you think?
Oh, why get CeeDee Lamb when we
No.
Why?
Talk about Rager. It's my fault. I took him off.
Yeah, that is your fault. Yeah. Okay, this is the thing about Rager. As a Big 12 fan, like I thought Rager was a really good. I thought Denzel Mims was a really good receiver too.
I didn't.
I thought CD is obviously a great receiver, right? But I liked Rager. I mean, I thought Rager. I saw his 40 times for the combine, and I was like, dude, he's one of those dudes that runs faster in games. I think Peterson is really, really smart. I think he's just a smart coach. I buy into that. Alshon Jeffrey is. I know they're saying like, hey, he's going to be a big part of our offense. I think he's fallen off that cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Deshaun Jackson can play a whole season. I don't think Zach Ertz can play a whole season either. And if Miles Sanders is getting the ball 20, 25 times a game, I don't think he can play a whole season
I don't
either.
think he can't if he's getting 20-25 carries. No,
I
I agree.
Yeah. So I really look at like a great offensive-minded coach, a great offense, period, and Jalen Reagor being put in there. I think he's got a good chance to succeed this year. I don't think he's as good as a talent as Jerry Jeudy.
Do you think Wentz plays the whole season?
Oh man, I think no. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering. Gut feeling. Obviously, you can't predict that, but
yeah, I can't. I like Wentz, but I don't think he does, right? But I think like Jalen Hurts coming in, I think they have a plan for him. You know, I just believe in that offensive system and the coach.
So you think offense will be great? He's the number one option, essentially.
Yeah. So I think I mean, he's just such a good coach, right? Like you saw what he did when he had no receivers last year.
Yeah.
So I think Jalen Reagor is a good receiver, not an elite talent in my opinion. He's a very good receiver in a great system that'll have better opportunity. So he's going to be my raise. My hold obviously would be Jerry Jeudy. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Jerry Jeudy fan. I'm a really big believer in what Alabama produces wide receiver wise under the Saban era. Obviously, I traded for Calvin Ridley because I think that they're great route runners and I think they're great athletes. And I think Saban demands like great catching ability and stuff like that, right? So I'm a big believer in Jerry Jeudy.
Does it worry you that he's behind maybe possibly the number one wide receiver in the league in Courtland Sutton? Who's also on my team, by the way.
Oh man, that was a
trade for him.
I can't believe you picked him up. We'll talk about him.
Yeah, we'll get to my team.
Yeah, stop trying to make it about you. Yeah, and then obviously my fold is Justin Jefferson.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think I see that he's got opportunity, right? But I think.
Did you watch the national championship game?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, you jerk.
Yeah, he's dynamic, man. I think he's awesome. But
he's got a path.
I think Thielen is going to like just dominate those targets, dude.
You hope?
No, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from Zimmer, and he told me, "Hey Ben, I just want you to know he's going to dominate." Hey, I like all three of those wide receivers. Again, since I know that you guys are straight doo-doo when it comes to fantasy, you guys will either overbid on them or just let them go.
Okay, so the last few years you've had the $80 guy.
Yeah.
You had Saquon. Last year you had Jacobs for us. I mean, these guys just dominated in terms of money. Do you see it being more spread out this year, or do you think there will be
No, I think
people who...
I think Clyde's going to go bananas.
Do you?
I think Clyde and Jonathan Taylor are going to go bananas, right?
God, I mean, that production with CEH is...
It's too enticing.
It's so enticing.
Right, you've got a couple guys out there with money, and they'll push each other. And why wouldn't you, right? If you've got money, because I think I've got every good running back in the league on my team, and I'm keeping them all.
Oh, you have Saquon? Sorry. Who is Saquon?
I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, that's it. That's that totally relevant topic of the week.
And so now we move on to your spectacularly sorry team, which I'm so excited to talk about. And so let me ask you a question. I just want to be serious for just a second, okay? I'm just looking at the camera. I just want you to know that there's sincerity in this. How are you so bad at fantasy football? What happened to you?
Let me
tell us what happened.
Yeah. Before I talk about that,
okay.
I have 3 questions for you.
Oh, you have questions for me? Okay,
yeah,
I like
there
it.
are 3 questions for you.
This is good.
So part of the team breakdown is we will ask each other 3 questions about the owner pertaining towards fantasy football.
Okay, so you don't want to spoil anything for me. All right, I got you. Now it's my turn to answer. I can't wait to answer these.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
Sincerely.
Who do you think is the last player on my team I cut? I think this is the easiest question. I kind of throw it up as a softball.
Zeke. I mean, even over Kamara. I think your affinity, even though Zeke likes to smoke weed and he gets play video games a lot, and he doesn't show up to work out and all that, he is your baby. When you had a chance to trade before, who did you trade? You traded Kamara away. Now you had to go get him.
I had to go.
Which
get him.
Oh
my gosh,
we're gonna talk about that trade in a second. But I think it's Zeke.
Yeah, I would have to say it's Zeke. It's. I mean, Kamara's hard not for me to say, but Zeke's a Cowboy.
Yeah.
And as we all know, that's America's team. And if he's the best player on America's team, he's the best player in the world. I mean, that's the way it works.
I'd agree with that.
If I had to cut, if I could have any player that's not on my team right now, who do you think it would be?
Saquon Barkley.
You think it'd be Saquon Barkley?
No, it's probably C-Mac. It's probably C-Mac. I mean, it's between one of those two, right? You're running back heavy. You love that. I mean, C-Mac.
It's Alshon Jeffrey.
It's Alshon Jeffrey.
It's Alshon Jeffrey. You remember when I traded for Alshon Jeffrey?
Yeah, I do. Who did you trade away?
Justin.
Kelsey.
That
So who
was
is it
brutal.
though?
It would be CMC.
It seems.
It seems. But you know what? I really do view CMC and Saquon in the same tier. Right?
Yeah.
I think Zeke's up there. Fantasy's interesting, right?
We'll get to this later, but it is interesting the transition in coaches and what that will bring and what that will mean to some of these things. So, but we'll get to that later because whenever we break down like Jeremy's team and my team, we'll talk about some of those.
Absolutely. So, we can't give you guys everything.
Not today.
All right. Last question. Who's the kicker that I'm highest on? Who's the kicker I'm highest on? Because, listen, I know that Bork loves kickers, and he wants to make sure kickers stay at the front and center of our league. So, Bork, I asked that question just for you.
Yeah,
so
it's got to be Justin Tucker. Texas boy.
Yeah.
You got a deep affinity and love for him.
Yeah.
But I think more than that, it's just you have a deep affinity for the kicker position overall. I mean, it's so valuable to our team. Remember that time that you just chose to randomly make all the field goals just a flat number? Like if you kicked a 19-yarder or a 49-yarder and you didn't tell anybody hey, this is just what we're doing now. And it's like, what is happening?
It worked, right?
I mean...
All right, well, we're going to have a league vote over that. All right, here's the question. Are we going back to the points or do we just want to get rid of kickers?
I just think it matters a little. I mean, if you're going to have kickers, it matters a little bit more to have a 55-yard field goal than a 19-yard field goal.
I'm putting all my money in on Tucker. That's all $3 I'm going to have.
That's what you walked away from this. Okay.
Let's go.
All right, good.
Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. That is a waste of time.
That's a total waste of time.
All right. Let's talk about
the season, right?
No, let's talk about Ben.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you a little bit of an owner bio. Ben is the one who brings us all together. He's the one who makes all of this happen. He's also the one who abuses all of us.
So much abuse of power.
Hey, what is it? Can I ask you a serious question? Like, what is it like to have to be the commissioner of people like Jordan and David? David complains all the time. Like, what is it like to have to be the commissioner of us?
I think it's Hanson's greatest joy to make me go because, dude, you know this. I'm pretty much like this, right? There's very few things that set me off.
Luckily, you have me to hold us all together to help do that and to just simmer things down and not to stir the pot.
So we got two massive instigators in Jordan and Hanson, but they're opposing forces.
Yeah. I love it.
And one of them is always coming at me, right? So this is what Holly watches. My excitement for the fantasy season, my depression during the middle of the fantasy season, and then my excitement for it to end. Just
get it over with. Tired of dealing with these people.
Dude.
Ben obviously has lots of foot fungus.
They don't know. They're not office with us.
This dude is always scratching his feet in the office. This is it's so gross. It's so gross. He's a lover of McDonald's and all things fast food.
2 for $5?
Yeah. What's your least favorite fast food?
Maybe BK.
Okay. All right. That's
maybe
pretty solid choice.
BK's pretty
solid choice.
I'll admit this though. I've had my fair share. Of it.
Ben has been a champion in the past, and so he can hold on to that. It's
forever.
Yeah. Once you win one, it's like Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter what you've done the last 15 years. You won one a while ago. What year did you win your championship?
Nobody knows. I really don't know. I don't know. It's been so long.
It was like third year of inception, right? Something like that.
Okay. I have no idea.
All right. Well, that's a little bit about Ben and his foot fungus and his love of fast food.
This is the year, though.
Okay.
This is the year, people.
We're going to get to that. Don't look at my projected finishes because I got all that for you.
We do. We have good stuff, guys. We have good stuff. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. What are we doing?
Okay.
Oh, we're into the what went wrong.
What are we doing?
What went wrong?
What's happening?
What went right?
Okay.
Let's talk about the 2019 season. Let's recap this so that everybody there can relive the drama that was my season. Because I think I'm a pretty firm believer that most of you guys were more intrigued and involved with my team than your own doo-doo teams.
That's definitely it. Go ahead. I mean, you know your team best of all. What was it like being up and down so much?
It was the worst.
Actually, don't down so much. Like, it's not up and down, it's down.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
Let me just say that.
Was it the hardest season you ever had?
It's been a rough 2-year stretch.
But I would say you made a fantastic trade that you're very excited about making that trade.
I will say this. Last year, I think I took 5 L's in a row. 5 L's in a row to start off the season. I will say this: after week 5, I had a lot of fun in the league, just because I knew I had no shot of getting anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was able to pick up some pieces that really excite me for next year. But last year was brutal.
And then
brutal.
subsequently trade those pieces. So your
I
big
already
trade,
know what went wrong.
your big trade in the season. Break it down for everybody. What was that? It was between us.
Yeah,
So
it was
I'm
between
very
us.
familiar with it as well.
Yeah.
And how horrible it went
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I still made the playoffs though. I still made the playoffs.
Man, I don't know how you did that.
Dude,
That's like
I don't either.
that's just proof how much
I was
God loves you.
really hoping
I
that
can't
Le'Veon
believe you
Bell would
made
turn
it.
around.
I can't believe you made it. So here's how the trade happened. One day I was in work and an idiot contacted me and said, "Hey, let's talk about something." And I was like, "Yeah, let's talk about
Which
something."
is a trade, which I
Which is-
never bring up trades, do I? It's like it's a very rare thing whenever
have
you
a
get a
problem.
message. I do.
You
I do.
have- you
I
have
want
a
to trade
problem.
everybody all the time.
You
You want to say
have a
one?
problem.
Anybody can have it.
You have a
It's
problem.
fun. I love trading. Trades are fun. And those of you that don't trade, you should trade. It is fun to do.
Did you see his energy levels just spike up?
I love talking about trades.
Because
Can we?
he's a spaz.
We're adding another segment about trades in here.
I'm writing
Okay.
it down. Trades.
Trades.
So we talked about it. I think we negotiated throughout the day.
Yep.
Right, and at this point, you got to remember Le'Veon Bell and Bobby Woods. By the way, the great Bobby Woods.
Love Bobby Woods.
Dude, great Bobby Woods and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was actually at this point in the top 5 RBs. I think he was maybe in the top 5 because dude
No,
was
the,
catching
whole- the whole
5
thing
or
was
6
Sam
balls.
Darnold was hurt, and I'm like, their offense has to get better when Sam Darnold comes back,
Yeah.
and that'll open up lanes for Le'Veon
Yeah.
Bell. It didn't. It didn't. I mean, he's still top 15 running back, but
Well, a good coach would say, "Here's my best player. Let me run through him." But it didn't happen.
no, he said, "Here's my best player. Let me hand him the ball and let him run right up the middle." Which, you know, Le'Veon Bell doesn't need space. He's not great in space or anything. Let's not get him out there.
Don't
But
even
anyway,
agree.
so all right, so we ended up trading, and somehow you got Josh Jacobs out of the deal.
Yeah, who had a good rookie season.
Yeah, he had a good rookie season.
Yeah.
Was hurt.
Yeah.
You got Aaron Jones, which I
Mhm.
thought Aaron Jones was going to flame out, but he didn't. He was running back 2.
Yeah,
We'll
he
get to that in a
was.
second, but he was running back 2.
Yeah.
And then somehow you still got $19 out of me because
$19 because you wanted to make the playoffs. I had no hope. I had nothing to lose, but you wanted to make.
I
playoffs
wanted
so
to
bad.
trade so bad. Guys, none of the rest of you traded me, and this is what happens.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Hey, the great part is though, you did talk me off 20. 20
Well, I was-
19.
You came hard at me at 20. I said 18. You said 19. I said, fine, let's do it.
So
Oh,
at the
gosh.
season, you know, it was a good trade. It was a good trade for me.
Yeah,
Who
it was a
knew
good
what
trade
was
for
going to
me.
happen with Josh Jacobs? Aaron Jones obviously went off, and let me just say this: even though he's number 2, and I like having Aaron Jones, but dude is a nightmare to own.
Up, down.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
in the middle ever.
No.
Just,
It's 8 points or 40.
yeah.
8 points or 40,
It's
right?
rough.
And then he only scores 40 when nobody else on my team scores.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do me any good. Anyway, so yeah, that was something that went right.
Yes.
Was my trade. Now let's talk about something that went wrong. What do you think, in your opinion? What's one thing? I know we can point to many things in my 3-11 year.
I have just one word.
Oh, let's hear it.
Draft.
It was a
The draft was rough. Okay, so I mean, just breaking it down here. So you keep OJ Howard. How did that go? You kept a defense. You kept the Dallas defense.
This is horrible.
I don't know who your other options were. I mean, maybe you just didn't have any. I don't remember who your options were at that point.
Yeah.
But those are pretty rough.
Yeah.
And then you keep Bell. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. But you trade. He's a trade chip. So all right. Bobby Woods. He's a trade chip.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Thielen.
Stealing, man.
Went real wrong.
He had lots of injuries.
Real wrong.
Lots
real
of
wrong.
injuries.
And then Zeke Elliott. All right, so those are your keepers.
And he sat out all offseason long. He sat out all offseason long.
So your keepers were not strong. But then,
No.
this is really where we get into it. You spent $28 on Duke Johnson.
So bad.
You spent $28 on Duke Johnson. And then you spent on Allen Robinson, which is, that's
Yeah, that's great.
That's $17.
Worked
That's
out.
a great $17.
That worked out for me.
Then you have your kicker, Houston, whatever. Who cares about kickers other than you? You spent $10 on Justice Hill.
Well, you know,
You spent $10 on Justice Hill.
he was a gamble. He was a gamble.
It was a
wasn't
terrible
good.
gamble.
I know. You know what's really bad is I could have got Kenyon Drake. Everybody could have got Kenyon Drake, but he only went for like 7. I think Jerry paid 7, and I paid.
No, I think
10.
he paid 9, but
He
whatever.
paid 9.
Yeah.
I paid more for Justice
Oh
Hill.
my gosh.
So good job. I mean,
Good
that's
job,
why he
Jerry.
won.
We're
That's
going to
why
talk
he
about
won.
Jerry's team later,
Yeah.
much later, because he's number
Yeah,
1.
but the Russian bot Jerry.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
wanna
Sorry, R.I.P.
Insult you.
R.I.P. Corey Davis, Dare Ogunbowale.
Hey, you know what though? I did exchange Corey Davis for another Titan.
AJ Brown?
Yeah.
Hmm,
Yeah,
okay.
that works.
Well, that worked for you. That was a good
I just
pickup.
want to talk about
Kalen
next year's
Balazs.
team. I don't want to talk about
That's good.
last year's
That's
team.
good. Marquez Valdez
Kalen Balazs.
Scantling, Deion Lewis, and Jared Goff. I mean that's his draft. So out of that whole, I mean, even keepers and everything, the good is only Thielen. I mean, not Thielen. It's Zeke
Yeah.
and then A-Rob. That's it. Those
That's
are
it.
your two goods.
The Cowboys DST, they were real bad.
Yeah.
But
Real
no, I can't deny that. It was,
All right,
it was
so
bad.
the draft went wrong. Okay,
it was
your
bad.
top
It was
player.
bad draft, bad keepers,
Here-
bad year.
Here's what I have down for your top player and your bust player.
Okay, let's
Okay,
hear it.
see if you agree with this.
Yep.
Top player, Aaron Jones. Even though it was up and down and up and
Yeah.
down, he won you some weeks legitimately, and he came
Did.
out RB2.
He put up massive points.
Yeah.
Dude's good. Dude is good.
Your bust player,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard because
There's
it's got
so many?
it's either got to be Duke
Yeah, I would agree there. That's what I would say.
or it's got to be Thielen. I mean, you were putting a lot of stock in Thielen being good last year, and he wasn't. But you've also put a lot of stock in Duke being good because you spent $28 on him.
I think it was Duke because I spent $28 on him and
You
I
spent-
dropped him.
You spent
and I dropped him.
$38 on Duke and Justice Hill. Wow.
Sometimes you have to take risks. So hey, let me just
So
say
why
this.
did you come in last place? I'm just confused by that.
My logic was this.
Okay.
If I got Duke Johnson,
Yeah.
and if you remember, running backs were going like really fast, really high, which is what I think is going to happen this year again, right? Like they just went so fast. Like Miles Sanders went really high.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, I mean, everybody went so high, right? And James White even went high. James White went high.
Yep.
And so Duke Johnson, my thought process was this. I really did think that they were going to use him because they traded a third-round draft
Yeah.
pick. I forgot about the BOB, right? I forgot that he doesn't really stick to
Ryan.
the reason, Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah. But I really thought I could trade him to Ryan
Yeah.
for something, right?
Yeah.
He just never went off. I just needed him to go off 1 or 2 weeks, and I think I could have traded him to Ryan.
You thought.
I thought, man.
No. You just needed like one good week out of him, and Ryan would have traded you everyone for him.
Hey, I'll be the first to admit that this honestly, this draft, my keeps and my draft were maybe historically in our league right among the worst.
Definitely.
I can't lie. It was
Okay.
horrible.
Can I say one more thing that went wrong for you last year?
Yeah,
Your points against you were 2,038. Nobody else touched over 2,000.
it was horrible.
So you definitely had the most points
Yeah.
against you. In terms of scoring points, you were middle of the pack. You weren't low,
Yeah.
you weren't high, you weren't anything. So you're fine in that. It's just, you roll the dice, and sometimes people
Sometimes it
score a
happens,
lot of
dude.
points against you. So
Scored a lot of points against me, and I'll say this: during that 0-5 stretch, I was dead last in scoring. So like everything,
Yeah.
I didn't come up in scoring until after trades, and then picking up AJ Brown,
Yeah.
off the waiver wire, which was huge.
hey, let's talk about waiver wire for a second.
Oh, dude, let's talk about waiver wire for a second.
Quick question. Do you know how much money you spent on Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I think I spent $5.
No. You can multiply that out by 10 and you'll have it.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so I spent $50 on it.
$50 on Daniel Jones. Did Jordan possess your body for a moment? He would love to, by the way. He would love to.
He would love to. Hey, that is a lot of money, but think about it like this.
Okay.
How much did the Giants spend on him? How much did the Giants spend on him? Millions! 50 virtual dollars, millions of dollars.
Thanks for that narrative streak there.
Yeah.
It-
No, it was, but hey, you know what? I still had money at the end of the year
okay.
to spend. And so this is kind of, I mean, I shouldn't tell you guys this because most of you guys,
Are
like
idiots.
you
You
can't
have
figure,
no idea how to
you
work a
can't figure
waiver
this
wire.
out. Yeah. But this is what I've learned is like in our league, you can spend 50 to 60% of your money and still have plenty of money to go
Yeah.
after people.
Yeah,
Like just because that's the way it is, unfortunately.
But, I mean, your waiver wire pickup of the year was definitely A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones
The
is
darling-
reflective of how bad the early season was.
The darling of the fantasy
Dude.
community right now.
AJ.
He can't go
Dude,
anywhere
AJ
but
Brown.
down.
He can't. And I need
Compared
him
to how they're talking
Hey,
about
I
him
need
right
him
now.
to. I need his ADP to drop.
All right, well, let's talk about keepers. 'cause
Okay,
this
let's do
matters.
it.
So 2020 season, we're going to look at keepers. Now, keep in mind, Ben comes into the 2020 season with $219 rather than $200 because some idiot traded him $19 as well as Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs.
Hey,
Okay, so
which got Lev Bell out of it.
So coming into 2020 season, you made an off-season trade. Tell us a little bit about that trade.
Man, I made two.
Made two.
Made two really good quality offseason trades, and I think both of them were win-wins. I overpaid for one of my players, but he's
You made
worth-
two?
Yeah. I'll tell you about one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Let me start with the
The
one
one I don't know about.
that you probably don't remember, but but as soon as I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. I traded Darren Waller to Jeremy
Oh,
for
yeah.
Calvin Ridley, right?
Yeah,
So that's a
Ridley.
win-win. Like Waller's a great up-and-coming player. Ridley, I think, could hit pay dirt this year. I know now, before the trade, he really
How
wasn't
many
getting
years
that
were
much
we going to
buzz.
say that Calvin Ridley? I know everybody loves
Zit.
him. He's the darling of the
You just
whole
don't know.
thing.
He's across
Just-
Julio.
Everybody's talking about
Yeah.
how this is the season, but what I've seen is
That
he's
scares
very
me.
productive some games, and then
Yeah.
he disappears other games.
Yeah, he's boomer bust. He's boomer
Which-
bust. But
That sucks.
it does. I think he's a really good route runner. I think, hey, you can come in here. I think he's
Oh,
a
no.
really good
Oh,
route
no.
runner.
This whole show is about to go downhill.
Hey, but we got to
right
kick you
now.
out because we in a minute. Say hello though to yourself.
Hey, one person watching this is freaking handsome.
Jordan?
Bork.
This might
Justin?
be the only person watching is this right here, right
This-
now.
that's-
If you watching
Dude,
Bengals.
Bork is going to watch this. He's asked some great questions.
Bork is gonna watch it. Jordan's gonna watch it.
We're getting up high up in time, though, so we
Yeah,
better get...
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Can I
Hey.
give a live question? A live audience
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, ask it right now. We'll
Yeah,
answer it right on the spot.
Oof, oof. Live audience.
Or you can come right back.
Live audience question.
Here's the live
Who-
audience question.
This coming season, which team, honest assessment, which team is going to get second place this year? Not
Which
first,
team is gonna get second?
You mean you think
Who-
you're going to get first?
Who think who like not even me, but who is that team that like has so much strength
Yeah.
and will make it all the way, but in the end still sucks?
So the question is, who's gonna get second place?
Not first.
Snapshot, second place.
Just like
And because
Who's going to
they're-
flame out at the
Yeah,
end?
yeah,
is
yeah. They
essentially
got
what
strength
he's
to
saying.
flame out.
who can't finish?
Hey, just so you know, we're doing projections for every team. So I feel like if we answer that, we're gonna give it away.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you'll have to
TBD.
hold on to see that.
TBD.
TBD. But I do have
See you,
an answer
Hanson.
for that. Okay.
Oh, but anyways, Waller. I traded
Yep.
Waller.
Yep.
Great tight end, man. And was he a great? I picked him up off the waiver wire week 1. If you remember that too. So, All right. Anyways, Waller for Calvin Ridley, right? But the real one, I mean, the big one that I'm super excited about, and I know Jordan's excited about it too, was I traded to Jordan, Josh Jacobs, and Allen
Yep.
Robinson. That's 2 big names right there. But I got Alvin Kamara back, whom I should have never,
And his knees.
ever. There's nothing wrong with the man's knees.
No. There's scientific proof. MRIs.
Oh
things
my
of that
goodness.
nature. Yeah,
Alvin
no.
Kamara, and I never should have let him go. And you know what? He missed me. He told me that immediately.
Yeah.
He said that he never played as hard for Jordan as he
You
played
love
for me.
Kamara.
Dude, he's my baby.
This is your dream team. I mean, other than 2 years ago when you lost to me in the championship, remember that?
No,
This
I
is
didn't
your
make
dream
it 'cause
team, though.
Justin beat me.
Yeah.
Justin
Oh,
beat
that's
me,
right.
and then
didn't
you
make
two
it.
played each
Thank you,
other.
Justin. I owe you. I owe you
Yeah.
for that. Okay, so here's what I think your keepers are going to be this year. So now we
All right,
kind of
let's
got
do
your team.
this.
Your keepers are going to be Zeke, obviously, Kamara,
Going back into
obviously. But all right, Zeke you get for $54.
Yeah.
Kamara is listed at 53, but you're going to get to keep him for 48 with the
Yep.
trade exception. With 10% off, that's a great deal. Those of you who didn't trade, you're idiots.
Yeah, that 10% was awesome. Which
Trading is
7
fun.
people in the league did.
Yeah.
By the way. 7 of the 10.
Okay, so
7
that's
of
good.
the 10.
It's moving,
7 of the 10.
moving the needle there. Aaron Jones,
Possibly.
think he's a keep for you. Allen Robinson, just kidding. Why would you give that dude up? He's so good. All right, sorry, not Allen Robinson. And then AJ Brown,
Yeah.
keeping
yeah,
at
probably.
$20.
Probably.
Ridley at 19,
Mm-hmm.
and then
That's 6.
Thielen.
Thielen stealing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thielen at 6. So Thielen's $32, right?
Yeah.
That's what you'd have to keep him at. So if I project all of that out, so this is just me working here. I think you would take Aaron Jones and you would put him at half price. You use your franchise tag on him, puts him at $23. Here's the problem: that puts you at $201. So it gives you $18 to draft with. I think you're going to want more money than that, and I think the biggest place where you can kind of move the needle is going to be Aaron Jones.
I would. I mean, right now.
So my
when I
biggest
look at
question
it-
is: are you going to drop Aaron Jones? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you can put me on the spot. I'll be honest with you guys. Right now, my thinking towards Aaron Jones is, yes, that I'm going to drop him, and I'm going to try to recoup him for less.
Number 2 running back. He's going to drop the number 2
Yeah,
running
yeah.
back. You have him on your team.
But-
He's going to be the future Kamara. You're going to go, why did I keep that dude?
Okay, I'm keeping him.
Are you
I'm
kidding
keeping
me?
him now. So now who I'm going to drop is Zeke. You talked me into it.
All right.
No,
fine.
but if I
There's
so
no
here's
way
the
you go in
thing.
the draft with $18 though, right? You
I mean,
got to move
no.
some things around.
I might.
Listen,
I might.
you're
Steelers DST. I got the Steelers DST.
You're an
I might keep
idiot
them.
if you keep Thielen. You're so dumb.
Dude.
I can't believe you're gonna keep Thielen.
Thielen is amazing.
No,
Listen.
Thielen is an injury risk. He's older. He's white. He's a white receiver.
What's that have to do with anything? Julian Edelman? He's good. Thielen stealing. Listen, I watched this game once, and Thielen caught the ball, and he ran
That's
it into
fine.
the end zone.
Listen. You're gonna give up Aaron Jones, the number 2 running back, and you're gonna keep Thielen, who's actually going to be more expensive. I guess you could franchise tag him, and he becomes $16. All of that, but man,
Okay.
all right, it's your team.
If you really want to know, since we're doing this, I will tell you guys my keeper strategy: Steelers DST, Mike Williams, Jalen Samuels, Kirk Cousins, and that's
All
it.
right.
I'm keeping 4.
All right, so what do you need to do next year?
This
This is me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you what I think needs to happen next year. Like what do you
Yeah.
need to happen next year for your team to kind of take off and for it to be good? You need wide receivers to emerge.
I do. I really do.
If your wide receivers don't emerge, you are rolling the dice on all of your wide receivers. The most consistent wide receiver you had is Allen Robinson, and he's no longer on your team. So now you're looking at Calvin Ridley. Who knows? A.J. Brown. He's the darling, but there's no guarantee that
And it's
year
the
2
Titans.
he's going to. Yes, the Titans. The game scripted out real
Yeah.
quick. And then you got Thielen. Injury risk, older wide receiver.
But the
he's
best.
white. Have I mentioned that yet?
He's also the best.
No, he's
He's-
not. So
he's the best.
question's going to be that. And then if you drop Aaron Jones, then what you're looking at is you're looking at Zeke and Kamara carrying your team, which you already know that anyways.
Yeah. Scoring
But-
75 a week each.
We'll see. Does Zeke gonna stop smoking weed long enough?
He said he was
to do that?
drinking. He
Okay.
said he was drinking,
That's
people.
all right. He's drinking. Whatever he's doing. Just take care of your body, dude. You're a professional athlete. All right, here's my projected finish, and then we're gonna get to
All
some
right.
good questions.
Let's go.
My projected finish for you is 8-6, 5th place.
What?
5th place.
Have you seen my team? It's loaded. Dude, here's mine. Here's my projection.
I think Kamara's knees give out, and you're hobbling along with Zeke. You got inconsistent wide receivers. I think you're putting up some big points. Actually, I think 6th place. We're just 6th place. I'm just 6th place. I'm gonna mark that down. As I'm thinking about it and how terrible your team's gonna be this year,
my
you're not
gosh.
allowed to win anymore.
I feel like that really has been placed upon me. Here's my prediction for my team. I think I am going
Are you gonna be legit? You're
Yeah.
gonna say 1st place. Okay, cool.
I'm going to win everything.
Yeah,
Listen.
all right. All
I
right.
got Zeke and
Here-
Kamara.
Here's what we got. Now we're gonna answer some of your questions, and we're gonna try to get out of here.
Oh, I like these questions. I
They're
like these
great
questions.
questions. I have Jordan's questions. You want me to start with those, or you want me to save those?
Start with
Jordan,
Jordan's first one.
first of all, thank you for your commitment to this league and caring. Ben doesn't appreciate your questions, but I do, and so I wore a low-cut shirt for you. Just know that. Here's
Oh my
Jordan's
gosh,
3
don't
questions.
encourage him. Why would you encourage him?
Will there be any pants worn by the host of the show? I'm just going to say, you'll never know.
You gotta use your imagination, Jordan.
He
I feel
does.
dirty just saying.
Yeah, you
I
do.
just feel dirty saying that.
2, well, I'm going to save that one for last.
Yeah.
Will there be any low-cut shirts worn? Well, I did the best I
He's doing
could,
it.
Jordan. I did the best I
He's
could.
doing it.
And then also, will there be any special guest episodes? We would love to have some special guest episodes.
Yeah.
We actually would love to have you guys come on and talk about your team, kind of like Ben did at some point for just a little bit. But you got to engage. You got to be a part of it. So Bork, Jordan, Ryan,
Hanson.
David Hansen,
Hanson.
Jerry, come back from the dead and please
Justin.
tell us about your team.
Jeremy, Barry,
come on.
everybody.
Barry, just because
Yeah.
you're getting married doesn't mean that you can't
Yeah.
talk about your team. It actually does.
Oh, that's another question. Who's first out?
Barry.
Yeah. See you later, Barry.
Barry.
Enjoy your last
Barry.
season in the league.
Barry's going to become too adult for that.
Yeah. We would love to have you guys on. Find a way to do it, maybe via Zoom. But we also want to bring other people on that you guys don't even know who they are. We know who they are. They play fantasy football, and ask them for some dumb advice. Not that they probably know anything.
All right, so Bork actually asked some
Yeah,
great
these are
questions,
good.
so we're going to do his, and then we got some questions.
Let
from
me go with one.
Okay.
Let me go with one. This is a good one, Bork. We're going to use all of yours, Bork, just so you know. But here we're only using 2. Each of us choose 2 league mates who would be on your WWE tag team roster. Just so you guys know a little background, we play. Jordan runs a WWE fantasy wrestling league.
It's the best thing
Awesome, and
It's
we all
amazing.
play in it. We all play in it.
Yeah.
If you want to play in it, let Jordan know. All right, so each of us have to choose 2 league mates who would be on our WWE tag team. No duplicates. So once somebody's off, it's just like a regular draft, and I get to pick first.
ever. Okay, go ahead. That's
Dude,
the stipulation.
there's an easy first pick. Easy first pick.
Oh, gosh, okay. there's an
Hanson. Hansen. He has
David.
dude.
The
David
guy that was
Hansen.
just in here?
Dude, yes. Hansen. He's in great shape still. He
Yeah,
has real
that's true.
wrestling experience.
That is very
He's
true.
tenacious. He'd be good on the
He
mic.
is tenacious.
He
He
would
would be
be
good on. He would be
A
great. on
dominant
that.
mic personality, and he'd wear a singlet. He'd wear a singlet, and he'd probably even oil himself up. and
Oh,
all
you
those
know he
type of
would.
things.
You
So,
know he would.
You know Hansen would be he's like Rey Mysterio, basically, right? He
Okay,
would
yeah,
be
yeah,
amazing.
All right. Now it's my pick.
It's
right?
your pick. Yep.
I've got to go first and foremost with the ogre. I got to go with Ryan Owendowski, famous from Owendowski Chicken Farm, Egg Farm, whatever our sponsor was. Shout out to you. Look, here's the thing.
Olo.
He's really top heavy, really
Yeah.
short legs,
Yeah.
but that man is a beast.
He's like the Big Show.
He is a giant of a man. He's
He
pretty
is.
agile too,
He is.
as well. He
He
has
is.
terrible hamstrings, though. I'll tell you that. He has bad hamstrings. Why are your hamstrings so bad, Ryan? Like, why are they so bad? But I think, with the power, with the muscle, and I think you've heard Ryan argue, and he can argue with a brick wall. He can talk to nothing. He would be excellent on the mic.
He would be. He's a
He
good
would
character.
be. He would
He's
be,
a good character.
and he would be a great heel
Yeah.
as well. Hansen can't be a heel.
No, Hansen
No,
has
he's
to
too
kind
nice.
of be your baby face.
He's the
right?
baby
He's gotta
face.
be your baby face.
So I got the heel team.
Okay,
Ryan and
okay. I like it
Going
because
for
it'd be fun to put Hansen and Ryan against each other.
We're technically not a tag team. If there's three of us, we're more like New Day, but that's a technicality that we're just going to pass over. Go ahead. All right,
Okay,
who's
so
your
the second
pick?
one, hearing you say Ryan, my first thought comes to Justin because I don't know if you guys know Justin, but he's also a very big dude.
I don't know.
He's
I've never met him.
he's also a premier athlete. He was a wrestler also.
Was he?
Yeah, he really was. Right. So
Wow.
Justin,
Justin, you were
mad
holding
shout
out on
out,
us,
dude. I'm really close to picking you, but there's a guy I like. Just when we saw this question ahead of time, immediately I had to have him. I had to have him, right? He even overpowers having Justin, right? Which is big time. Jerry. Jerry.
That's so good.
Dude,
Yeah.
Jerry
Is
is crazy.
he dead in this scenario?
No. We have to wake him from the dead, so it would be zombie Jerry. But if you guys don't know Jerry is literally the most crazy human being in the world. He would be our table, ladders, and chairs guy. Without a doubt, he'd be our TLC guy.
He is the most athletic 85-year-old man I've ever seen in my whole life. So I agree.
He would be. And it's just too bad he's a Russian bot now, because if he was still here with us, I would love to have him in our league. So
That's a
Jerry,
good answer.
Jerry's
That's
my
a good
second
answer.
pick. So I'd have an undersized team, but very athletic, very fast.
Well, for the last pick of this draft, I'm kind of surprised that it has to get to this point, but I'm going to take the bringer of pain.
You gotta be joking me. I'm so glad I
Of
didn't
all
have water in
kinds.
my mouth.
Like,
It was all spit out all over the place.
Emotional pain,
Emotional
physical
pain.
pain.
Yes.
No, it's-
Emotional pain.
And he's
right?
in
Makes
the-
you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable pain.
he's in the best shape of anyone in our league.
I would agree.
I'm picking Jordan.
Oh, I thought you were about to say me.
No. I mean, he's got the hair already.
Yeah,
he's
he
ready
does.
for that.
He does.
He knows the moves. He's been to the training school. I can't believe he made it to me this far.
What a good heel. What a good heel.
Yeah.
You'd have to call him the bod though, because that's what he'd want to do.
The
right?
bod?
Yeah.
BOD or okay.
what? I don't know all the new pronouns, but you'd have
Yeah.
to pick one of the new pronouns,
Yeah.
and that's who he'd be.
He'd be a vampire. That's what he would be. He'd come in the ring
Think
as a
about
vampire.
how many different
shirtless.
characters he could be for.
Oh
you.
my gosh, he would be the creative engine of our tag trio. as we call it.
He would be great. You know what? I think everybody in our league would be awesome in wrestling. Not me per se, because I'm real lazy and I wouldn't want to do any of it, right?
Yeah.
But I think so many characters would be fun. But I gotta say, like I like my team because I got Hanson and Jerry, but I like your team. I would give your team the victory.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
very
Ryan and Jordan.
We're
would
a
be
violent
really
team with
hard.
those two, but you know how Jordan and Ryan are, so there's gonna be a lot of infighting. We're gonna split up real
Oh,
quick, but
that's
that's
true.
okay.
That's true.
That's fine.
Yeah, they would be good though. They would be good though. All right, let's go to our second question. Bort, great question.
Great question.
Let's go.
This is Bork's question as
I'll let
well.
you read this one.
Okay, so if you could make one change to the league over this next year without approval or vote needed, what would it be? Go ahead.
That I get more commissioner power. That I get even more power. That no more voting. No more voting rights for any of you.
Oh my gosh! All right, take it serious. Answer it for him. This man's asking good questions.
Yeah. So honestly, I would legitly want to add one more flex. I would want to add one more
Third flex?
I
You
would.
are flex drunk.
No. Okay, listen. I'd want to add one more flex, but I'd want it to only be RB or WR.
Okay.
I'd only want it to be running back or wide receiver. I know a lot of people out there would want to see it be super flex or quarterback. I've played in a super flex league for a lot of years. I just like being in a non-super flex league, right? But I would love to see more into our starting lineups, because I think what I'm starting to really like about fantasy football is having to find like that great WR3, WR4, RB4, RB5, and rely on them every week.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess first of all, it's not going to be kicker. It should be kicker, but I'm going to pick something else. But
you want more kickers? Oh man, I've
we have an
never
extra
heard of
slot
that.
for
Radical.
kickers. God, kickers are so stupid. We'll get to that later. We'll ask that question, please, Bort. All right. So what I think about is I think about something that's not preference, but would actually just statistically make the league better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so preference would be, all right, if I wanted to go super flex or something like that, I'm like, okay, well, not preference, that's preference. But to me, the thing that makes the least sense in fantasy football is quarterbacks running, like just the quarterback point system.
Okay.
I just think that it inflates certain people above what they are actually on the field. So I think if we could figure out a way
You want to reduce
the number of points that you get for rushing the ball, or take passing yards up, or maybe we could mess around with some of those, but it would be something along the quarterback line, because it is the most important position in the league. Fantasy football doesn't necessarily reflect that, but it gets even more out of whack because you have these quarterbacks. I mean, like, who wants Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Like, legit.
Yeah.
And he's going to be top 7, top 8 quarterback this year unless he gets hurt. He's probably going to be that, solely on the fact that he can run the ball, not because he's a great quarterback. So I would change. I would do some quarterback changes.
He gets touchdowns. So hey, maybe we can look at that. Just so you guys know, we'll have some votes coming up. One of the things we're going to vote over, Brandon's already brought it up, and I think I put it in the group me, is opening up COVID IR spots. We're definitely going to do that, but we'll vote over it. I hope everyone will be on board with it.
Yeah, and the purpose of that is just to be sure that if you have some people that hit COVID, it's not killing your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not having to drop some people that you would otherwise keep. Just, it's a different season. We won't. I don't know. Hopefully, we won't have this in the future, but it allows us a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, and it would only be for COVID.
Yeah.
It would only be for COVID. More
if
IR
they're not on
spots,
COVID,
only for COVID. That way you can keep your players. Hey, if you guys start thinking about things we want to vote over, because at our trophy presentation we have a couple votes. But let's one more question, 2 more questions.
I thought we had Ryan's question.
Oh wait, he wanted to be anonymous.
Oh,
he wanted to be anonymous.
So
Remember,
sorry.
he sent it in, lonely chicken farmer in Auto.
That's my bad, Ryan. I am so sorry.
Yeah. We're sorry, Ryan. We already outed you, but Ryan wanted
bad.
to know that if it is. And, you guys can weigh in on this, too. Is it okay for him to go into the bathroom and take a Tuesdays, right?
Okay.
And as he's taking a Tuesdays, to eat ice cream and whatever dinner he had, he said he likes the way the smells merge as he's eating these things.
This isn't a hypothetical question.
It's not.
This is a legit question. Ryan, you're a disgusting human being, and you're off my tag team now.
No, that would be part of his spiel.
All right, I got Ryan's other question here.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, this is a serious one, right?
Yeah.
Ryan wants to know, how can you take a playoff team and completely dismantle them from one year to the next, where they go from being a really good team with lots of promise and hope to being old and broken down? How can you do that, Ben?
Oh, you know what? You know what's interesting about Ryan asking this is I feel like he's the expert at it. Ryan, I feel like you already know the answer to that.
Ryan,
question.
I think, just wants a shout out for being
so bad,
awful at fantasy football.
So bad, Ryan. We can't wait till you get to your team.
Yeah,
so
lots of negativity coming out there.
Oh man.
Some of you, I'm very excited to talk about your team.
All of your teams. I'm not so excited to talk about Jerry and Jeremy's. Their teams are good.
Golly, that sucks. Yeah. And Justin's team.
Yeah. Dude, he's got lots of
pieces. I don't know what I like looking at his keepers. I don't know who to keep, but
I don't like talking about the good ones. So I'm excited to talk about yours. Just joking.
Shut up. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with you another show for next week. We're going to do 10 of these and hopefully some of them throughout the season.
Yep.
Please watch. Send us your questions.
Interact with us.
Yeah, we would love for that. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace. Wait, hold on. All right.
Let's try to go straight.
No.
All right, now. Bye.
Bye.